Good morning, guys. Welcome back to another episode of Wrench and Rep. We are here again with my go-kart, which we are now calling the Army Cart. I'll explain why briefly here. I said that at the end of last video. If you haven't watched that one, feel free to check that out. I'll leave a link above right now, but I'm calling it the Army Cart because what I'm doing is making it a Willys Jeep themed go-kart. I think it'll look super cool. I've got like satin clear coat, so it's like kind of matte, but a little more shiny than the Willys Jeeps actually were. I'm gonna stencil on all that stuff. It's gonna be real cool. But I also want it to perform good. So we've got some parts that we're gonna start working with today that are gonna help with that. One of which, boom, baby. If you know anything about go-karts, you know you basically need a Predator 212 on them. So we're getting rid of this junk old Tecumseh, which was also filled with water, which you can also check out in the video right there. But we're ditching this. We're going to a 212. It's not going to be running and driving in this video, but I need it to mock up because I'm making some adjustments to the seat, among other things. So I need the motor in there to know where it's actually going to sit. But today what we're trying to get accomplished is we're trying to finish up all the welding on the frame widening that we did in the last episode. As you can see there, these used to be just parallel, straight. It was like a big square. So we're going to fully weld all that out. We're going to get the motor mocked up, and we're going to make our adjustments to the seat, which used to sit something like this, real flat on the base, and what we're going to do is we're going to tilt it back so you actually have a little bit of a kind of bucket seat. That's going to vastly improve kind of being able to sit in this thing without feeling like you're going to fly out of it. So let's get to work, I guess. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this motor off, so while we're welding we can like flip the frame around all different directions. I'm also going to pull the spindles and the tie rods and everything off because I have to weld in here and it's kind of in the way. So let's get to disassembly so we can do some welding. It's a big dog right there. It's a big bolt. It's weird, everything is standard on this thing. There's no metric. I guess that just tells you how old it is, right? All disassembled. Got it lifted up as high as I can get it on my jack stands that I've got, just to make it a little easier on the knees and the back while I'm welding all these things up. Next is a whole bunch of grinding and prep work. So I will spare you guys the boredom and we will just snap right to me being done with the prep. See you there. Boom, just like that. All the prep is complete. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, just trust me. It's all nice and clean. I got the welder out over here. And it's time for a little welding montage, so enjoy. We got her all welded up. All the places we made cuts now have welds. I'm gonna go around, grind each of them down because I don't want, you know, the weld to show there. I want it to look like just one tube. So I'm gonna grind them down and see if I have any little spots I need to fill in or anything. So let me get to grinding, and I'll just touch it up, and I'll show you guys once everything is ground down and pretty much completed. The outer rim of the frame wise, I still have to weld those too, but wanted to weld these tubes first because I have to do some hammering on those, and I didn't want my tacks to break. So let's clean up these welds and then start this. Actually, maybe we'll do this first. Yeah, let's do that quick. Woo-hoo-hoo! Look at that! Look at that! It's like one piece. And Hildy also cleaned up the bars. I don't know if you can barely tell how shiny they are, but they're like a mirror shine. So we got those all cleaned up. All the welding's pretty much done, at least for this. So this is going to be the end of the day for us here, but same video for you. We're going to pick it up next day and work on the seat and the motor, like I said I wanted to do in this video. You know, that's how it goes. Everything literally takes 3 to 5 times longer than you think it will. But man, it's coming out good. All right, see you guys tomorrow. All right, well, another day working on the Army cart here. Today the mission is the seat. So we're gonna try and get the seat mounted in this thing. Before I do that, I have to actually mock the motor up because I need to know how far back I can put the seat. So first step is to kind of slap that thing on the engine mounting plate here and you know, just see where it ends up. We'll see where the seat ends up. So let's get to mounting that up. Parts already.
Oh yeah.
It's a fresh unit right there. Alright, project's done. Look at how fresh it is. This is my first new Predator in a while. I'm used to old junk like that. So, it's good. Good day. So I think we have a solid plan after much discussion. My whole goal with the seat is to get a little bit of lean back out of it. Before it was dead flat, which is really uncomfortable, especially with how upright the back is. So tilting it back will give us a little, it'll almost like cradle you in, like a bucket seat. So after figuring out how we're going to mount this thing, we're originally going to try and bolt it so we could use the sliders and adjust it, but I'm not really that concerned about that. We have the motor at the full forward position, so we know that's not going to come any more forward. If anything, we'll have a little extra room, so we're just going to weld this thing in. And basically, we're going to get a little bit of extra tilt back. Not much, but what can you do?
It'll do.
Yeah, it still is like a noticeable difference when you sit in it versus how it was. So basically, before I weld this into the frame, I'm going to add a bar of support under this thin sheet metal here, because it's not resting on this part anymore like it used to. So that'll kind of just make sure that that doesn't, you know, cave in over time. And then we're gonna get this thing all prepped up and welded in, and we'll have a seat, which is kind of exciting. We're getting there. So I'm gonna take a bar from the old roll cage, because I'm not using that anymore, and put it on the seat. Oh, wow. A little bit of extra.
Yeah.
Well, I'll cut a little off. We got our pipe all fitted up down there, so yeah, little gaps, I can fill those in just to give this front support, you know, so it's not collapsing under our weight, since it's not going to be resting, you know, like we showed you before. So I'm just going to weld this in and re-weld one of their terrible welds on the back of the seat, and then we can progress to prepping the rest of the seat. We won't really be able to like strip paint off the underside once it's on there, at least not easily. So we're gonna prep this before I weld it on there, so when we paint up the whole frame, you know, it'll get a good coat of paint. So let's weld this, prep that, and then weld the two together, create a nice bonding pair. A little bonus, taking off the sticker, look at the paint underneath. That is like amazing. I mean, that's what the paint originally looked like on this whole thing. It was very cool. Alright, the last sticker on the whole go-kart. That's what happens when you get distracted from what you're supposed to be doing. Start pulling off every sticker on the entire go-kart. Had to be done at some point though, so. Look at that.
Nice.
No longer number 7. Soon to be the army cart for real. No longer just an idea, but in reality. Alright guys, skip ahead a little here. I don't know where we last let off, honestly, but I am back on it late at night, and I'm getting the seat welded in. So you can see I have some primer already thrown. That was just over the areas where I'm really not going to be able to get once I weld this thing in. So I just wanted to make sure they had some sort of coverage. I figure it'll probably get a little messed up when I'm welding near it, but you know, it's better than nothing. So I'm going to weld it pretty much right there and right back here. I think that should be enough to hold it. It's not like it'll have a ton of weight in it, and I can always add, you know, a reinforcement if I need to. Might be a good idea to kind of triangulate this in a little. Maybe I'll do that too. So basically, I have it all centered up. I have the motor just sitting there, so I know where it's gonna be at its most forward position to make sure I can, you know, get the full range of motion. So let me tack this on here, and I will catch up with you guys after I do that. You guys have seen enough welding video at this point, so I'm just gonna tack it on and I'll just show you when it's done. Hey guys, we're back here. It's actually the next day because I forgot to film last night. We did end up getting the seat all welded up, so you can see, no, it's welded in. It was bolted in, but I decided just to weld it, mainly because I didn't feel like going to get bolts, and I'm not going to adjust it any further forward anyway, so I have a little bit of lean back to it, as you can see, and man, does that feel better compared to just being flat bottom. But came out super nice. I think that's all we wanted to accomplish in this video, so tune into the next video to see you know, the next stuff I do. I'm working on the pedals right now, actually. You'll see that later. And then we're going to be doing a whole lot of grinding to get this frame ready for paint. So I'm going to get back to work here. I will see you guys in another week or two with the next episode. Till next time, guys, keep wrenching, keep ripping. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, and like these videos. We'll see you next time.